Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful today. The moment you start believing in yourself, everything in your life begins to change. You don't need anyone else's permission to be great. You don't need validation from the world to start chasing your dream. All you need is belief, a deep, unshakable belief that you are made for more. Because when you truly believe, the impossible starts looking possible. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Belief is the beginning of everything. The first step to achieving anything great in this world is to believe in your own vision, even when nobody else can see it. The truth is, not everyone will understand your dream. Not everyone will support it, and some people will even doubt it because they can't imagine it for themselves. But that's not your problem. The vision that's in your heart was given to you for a reason, and it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. If you want to see it come to life, you've got to believe in it when it's invisible. You've got to hold on to it when it's just a thought in your head and a fire in your chest. Every successful person you admire today started as someone with a dream that only they could see. When I started out, nobody believed I could make it. People laughed, they doubted, they called me crazy. But I learned something powerful. Your belief is what makes you different. It's what separates those who quit from those who win. When you truly believe in your vision, it gives you strength on the days when you feel weak. It gives you courage when you face rejection. It gives you hope when everything around you tells you to give up. Belief is that invisible power that fuels your purpose. It's not something you can touch, but it's something that can move mountains if you hold on to it. You see, life will always test your belief. The moment you decide to do something big, challenges will come your way. People will walk away. Doors will close. And you'll feel like the world is against you. But that's the test. That's when your belief has to stand strong. You have to say, I know what I see. I know what I feel. And I'm not letting go. You might not have the money yet. You might not have the resources yet. But if you got belief, you've got the most powerful thing you need to get started. Belief makes you wake up early. Belief keeps you grinding when nobody's clapping for you. Belief pushes you through the pain when you don't see results. That's what separates dreamers from doers. There will be times when you feel completely alone. Times when you'll ask yourself, is this worth it? And in those moments, your belief will be your best friend. It will remind you why you started. It will whisper to you that your vision matters, that your purpose is real. You have to hold that vision close because it's your guiding light. When people can't see what you see, don't argue with them. Don't waste your time trying to convince them. Just keep moving, keep building, keep proving to yourself that what you believe is possible. The results will speak for you one day. Believing in your own vision is about trusting that the path you're on will make sense in time. It's about walking by faith, not by sight. You might not see how it's all going to work out right now, but you got to keep going anyway. You got to wake up every day and say, this is my dream, and I'm not giving up on it. Because the moment you stop believing is the moment you stop growing. Your belief gives birth to action, and your action brings your vision to life. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people with talent fail because they didn't believe. And I've seen people with no experience succeed because they did. Belief is a difference maker. It's the seed that turns into success, the spark that starts the fire. Don't let anyone take that away from you. If you've got a vision in your heart, protect it, nurture it, and most importantly, believe in it like your life depends on it. Because in truth, your future does. Ladies and gentlemen, faith is the foundation of every success story. You can have all the skills, all the talent, all the resources in the world, but without faith, you'll never be able to reach your full potential. Faith is what keeps you moving when the road gets dark. Faith is what tells you to keep going when your circumstances scream at you to stop. It's that unshakable confidence deep inside your soul that says, I may not see it yet, but I know it's coming. You can't see faith. You can't touch it. But when you live by it, you'll feel it guiding you, protecting you, and pushing you forward when everything else tries to pull you down. Faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that the answers will come when you take the next step. There was a time in my life when I had nothing but faith. I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have money, and I didn't have a safety net. What I had was a belief that God had more for me than what I was living. I knew in my heart that if I kept holding on, something would change. And you know what? It did. That's the power of faith that takes you from where you are to where you're supposed to be. But it only works if you keep believing, even when nothing is working out. Sometimes faith means you're walking with no proof, no signs, no guarantees, but you keep moving because you know something greater is waiting for you on the other side. Faith is not about seeing. It's about believing before you see. You got to understand something. Life is going to test your faith. You're going to face moments when everything falls apart, when nothing seems fair, when every door slams in your face. But that's not the time to give up. That's the time to dig deeper into your faith. Because faith doesn't eliminate the storms, it gives you the strength to walk through them. The reason some people never reach their destiny is because they lose faith right before their breakthrough. They give up a day, a week, or a month before the miracle happens. Don't do that. You have to trust that even in the silence, even in the waiting, even in the pain, something is happening for your good. Faith turns pressure into purpose. There will be moments when people around you won't understand your journey. They'll tell you to quit, to be realistic, to settle. But faith doesn't care about what's realistic. Faith says, I serve a God who can make a way out of no way. Faith says, I can rise from nothing and still become something. The world runs on doubt, but you have to walk in faith. Every single person who made history, every inventor, every leader, every dreamer had one thing in common. They believed in something bigger than themselves. When everyone else saw failure, they saw opportunity. When everyone else saw impossibility, they saw faith in action. Let me tell you something powerful. Faith and fear can't live in the same house. You've got to choose one. Either you're going to believe in your future or fear it. Either you're going to trust that things are working for you or worry that they're not. You can't do both. When you choose faith, your whole mindset changes. You stop complaining and start expecting. You stop doubting and start declaring. Faith is not just something you feel, it's something you live. You speak faith. You act faith. You walk faith every single day until your dreams manifest. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to build a strong foundation for your life, start with faith. Believe when there's no reason to believe. Stand tall when everything around you is shaking. Trust the process, even when you don't understand it. Because faith is what turns the impossible into possible. It's what turns dreams into reality. And when you build your life on faith, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you from becoming everything you were created to be. Ladies and gentlemen, failure is not the end, it's preparation for your breakthrough. Too many people see failure as a final chapter, when in truth, it's just a lesson along the way. Every person who has ever done something great has fallen, stumbled, or been told no more times than they can count. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're growing. It means you're trying. It means you're brave enough to take a risk. You can't become who you're meant to be if you're too afraid to fail. Every disappointment, every rejection, every setback you face is a stepping stone toward your success. If you choose to learn from it instead of quitting because of it. I failed more times than I succeeded, and that's the truth. There were days when I was broke, hungry, and ready to give up, but every single one of those failures taught me something I needed to know. Failure built my character. It taught me patience. It taught me to depend on God and not on circumstances. You see, success doesn't teach you much. It makes you comfortable. But failure refines you. It humbles you. It makes you dig deep and find out who you really are. You can't develop strength if you've never been weak. You can't appreciate success if you've never experienced loss. That's why failure is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Sometimes God allows failure to protect you. Maybe you didn't get that job, that opportunity, or that relationship because it wasn't meant to be part of your destiny. Sometimes rejection is simply redirection. You think something's falling apart, but it's really falling into place. You might not see it now, but years later you'll look back and say, I'm glad that didn't work out, because if it had, I wouldn't be where I am today. The pain of failure often hides a blessing in disguise. It's in those moments when everything goes wrong that your faith, your courage, and your perseverance are tested. And those are the very qualities that make success possible. When you fail, don't let shame or fear hold you down. Pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and say, all right, what's next? Because the faster you rise after a fall, the stronger you become. Winners are not people who never fail. They're people who never quit. You've got to stop thinking that a setback means it's over. A setback is just a setup for your comeback. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every closed door pushes you closer to the one that's meant for you. Don't let temporary disappointment make you forget permanent potential. The dream is still alive. It's just waiting for you to grow into the person capable of handling it. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who avoided failure. They're the ones who mastered the art of bouncing back. They learned how to turn pain into purpose, how to turn mistakes into motivation. You see, it's easy to believe in yourself when everything's going right, but real strength shows up when everything's going wrong and you choose to believe anyway. It's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary, how you respond when life knocks you down. Ladies and gentlemen, don't fear failure. Fear never trying. Don't let the possibility of falling stop you from flying. You were not created to live small or safe. You were created to take bold steps toward your destiny. Every great success story started with someone who refused to let failure define them. So the next time you fail, smile and say, that's just part of the process. Because failure is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your transformation. It's the fire that shapes your faith and the lesson that prepares you for your breakthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, the people you surround yourself with will either lift you higher or pull you down. You cannot build a successful life surrounded by negativity, doubt, and small-minded thinking. If you want to achieve something great, you've got to surround yourself with people who see the greatness in you, even when you can't see it yourself. You need people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you better. Because the truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with. If you hang around dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. If you hang around doubters, you'll start questioning your own potential. Energy is contagious. And if you're not careful, other people's fear can become your limitation. When I first started chasing my dreams, I had to make some hard choices. I had friends who didn't believe in me, people who laughed when I talked about my goals, people who told me I should be realistic. But realistic is just another word for settling. I realized I couldn't afford to keep company with people who didn't share my vision. It wasn't that I thought I was better than them. It's just that I was going somewhere different. Sometimes you have to love people from a distance. Sometimes you've got to walk away from those who keep you small so you can step into the life God designed for you. You can't soar like an eagle if you're always surrounded by chickens. The people who truly care about you will celebrate your growth, not be threatened by it. They'll push you forward when you start to doubt yourself. They'll remind you of your strength when you forget who you are. Those are the people you need to keep close. People who pray for you, not prey on you. People who believe in your dream even when the world doesn't. Because when you're chasing something big, there will be days when you'll want to give up. On those days, the right people will remind you why you started. They'll tell you, you've come too far to quit now. That kind of support is priceless. But to find those people, you first have to become that person. Be the one who encourages others. Be the one who claps for people when they win, even if you're still waiting for your turn. Because when you give out that kind of energy, it finds its way back to you. You can't attract positive, successful people if you're constantly speaking negativity or jealousy. The universe gives back what you put out. So if you want to build a circle of winners, start by being a winner in your attitude, your work ethic, and your heart. There will always be people who don't believe in your dream. Let them talk. Let them doubt. But don't let them influence your faith. Remember, not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people are only part of your story for a season. You've got to learn to recognize when a chapter has ended. Don't try to drag people who don't want to grow. The more you hold on to dead weight, the harder it is to rise. If they can't celebrate your progress, they don't deserve to be part of your promise. Surround yourself with people who make you feel alive. People who talk about goals, ideas, and possibilities, not gossip and excuses. You need people who remind you of your potential, not your past. Life is too short to spend explaining your vision to those who refuse to see it. Protect your energy, protect your dreams, and protect your peace. When you start walking with people who believe in you, you'll begin to see that anything is possible. Because the right people don't just support your dream, they help you believe in it even more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most powerful forces in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, words are powerful. The things you speak over your life create the reality you live in. You can't talk defeat and expect victory. You can't keep saying you're broke, you're tired, you're not good enough, and then wonder why nothing changes. The words you speak are seeds, and every time you open your mouth, you're planting something into your future. That's why you've got to learn to speak success into existence. You've got to declare what you want, not what you fear. You've got to speak blessings, not burdens, because what you constantly say becomes what you eventually see. If you keep saying you can't do it, your mind will find every reason why you can't. But if you start saying you can, your spirit will find every reason why you must. I've learned that life listens to the words you speak. The universe doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to faith. When you start saying, I am capable, I am strong, I am chosen, you start training your mind to believe those things. Eventually, your actions will follow your words. That's how transformation begins. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they keep speaking negativity over themselves. They talk themselves out of their own blessings. They say things like, I'll never get out of this situation. I'm not smart enough. It's too late for me. But you've got to flip that script. Start speaking life over your situation. Say, this is just a chapter, not the whole story. Say, my time is coming, because when you speak with faith, you're inviting possibility into your life. The words you use every day are like commands to your destiny. If you talk small, you live small. If you speak with confidence, your energy shifts. You start to walk differently, think differently, and attract differently. You begin to expect more out of yourself and out of life. The reason so many people stay stuck is because they keep speaking like victims instead of victors. You can't build a big life with a small mouth. You got to stop repeating your problems and start declaring your purpose. Even when things aren't going your way, don't speak about how bad it is. Speak about how it's going to get better. That's what faith-filled people do. They don't deny reality, but they declare greater. When I was coming up, there were times I didn't see any sign that my dreams would come true, but I refused to speak defeat. I would wake up every day and say, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get out of this. And those words kept me alive when nothing else did. They gave me hope when all I had was faith. You see, your mouth is the steering wheel of your life. Wherever your words go, your life follows. That's why you've got to be careful about what you say, especially when you're frustrated or afraid. Don't speak curses over your own path just because it's hard. Instead, speak strength. Say, this challenge is preparing me for something greater. Because it is. Start paying attention to your daily vocabulary. The moment you replace I can't with I will, everything changes. The moment you stop saying maybe someday and start saying today, your momentum shifts. You begin to attract new energy, new people, and new opportunities. It's not magic. It's mindset. You can't change your life until you change the way you talk about it. So from this day forward, speak victory, speak abundance, speak confidence, and speak gratitude. Even if you don't see the results yet, keep declaring it, because what you say consistently will eventually show up in your life. The truth is simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to live a life of success, start by speaking it into existence every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, life will test you. It will push you, stretch you, and sometimes break you down to your knees. But no matter how tough it gets, you gotta keep going. Because persistence is the bridge between dreams and reality. Everyone wants success, but not everyone is willing to keep moving when the road gets rough. The truth is, the difference between winners and quitters isn't talent, it's endurance. It's the ability to keep showing up, to keep fighting, to keep believing, even when the results are not visible. You might not see the progress you want today, but that doesn't mean you're not growing. Every small step, every hard day, every sleepless night is part of the process that builds champions. There will be times when it feels like nothing is working. You'll question yourself. You'll doubt your path, and you'll wonder if it's even worth it. But those moments are not signals to stop. They are tests to see how bad you really want it. If success came easy, everyone would have it. The struggle is what separates those who dream from those who do. Persistence means getting back up every single time life knocks you down. It means doing the work when you don't feel like it, keeping faith when everyone else is giving up, and refusing to let your circumstances define you. Every time you push through pain, you grow stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you get closer to your breakthrough. I've had moments where I wanted to walk away from it all. Moments when I looked at my life and thought, maybe this isn't meant for me. But every time I felt like quitting, something inside me said, keep going. And every single time, right after that breaking point, came a blessing I didn't see coming. That's how persistence works. It pays off in silence. You might not see it happening, but the universe is watching. God is watching. Your effort is never wasted. Every seed you plant, every prayer you whisper, every tear you shed is all watering your future. You can't give up because you don't see the results yet. Farmers don't stop watering the field just because the crops haven't appeared. They trust the process. And that's exactly what you need to do. Trust that your time is coming. Sometimes the road will get lonely. You'll lose people. You'll lose comfort. And you'll lose moments of ease. But persistence means walking alone if you have to. It means believing in your purpose even when you don't have applause. You can't wait for the world to cheer you on. You've got to become your own motivator. Wake up every morning and remind yourself why you started. Keep your eyes on the goal, not the obstacles. The pain you feel today is not punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into the kind of person who can handle the blessings that are waiting for you. Because if it came too easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. The struggle gives meaning to the success. You got to understand that persistence doesn't mean perfection. You stumble, you fall, you make mistakes. That's okay. Progress isn't about never failing. It's about never staying down. You don't have to move fast, but you do have to keep moving. The mountain might look tall, but step by step you can climb it. Every little action, no matter how small, moves you closer to your destiny. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you feel tired, keep going. When you feel empty, keep believing. When the world says it's over, whisper to yourself, I'm just getting started. Because persistence always pays off. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you'll look back and realize that every tear, every failure, every sleepless night was worth it. Your breakthrough is already written. Your only job is to keep walking toward it.